This is a gun. Over the years, firearms have become something more familiar to most of us. This is due in part to media representation, such as in the news, or more prominently, in game franchises, such as the Call of Duty franchise. But although the implement of the firearm has moved into general knowledge, let's know how a firearm properly functions, and how the physics behind them work. So how does a gun work? A cartridge, containing propellant and the bullet, is fed from a magazine into a chamber. The firing pin is pushed back and held back under spring tension. When the trigger is pulled, the firing pin releases. This strikes the primer, which ignites the propellant. Expanding gas pressure then pushes the bullet out of the barrel. However, Newton's third law states that there is an equal and opposite reaction. This manifests itself in the form of recoil. This is the rearward thrust generated from the forward momentum gained by the projectile and of the gas. This can sometimes be a big problem, which is why sometimes hydraulic or pneumatic systems are used to dampen recoil to a level fit for use. The thermal expansion of gases is a change in their volume in response to a change in temperature. There are two laws that closely relate to this in relation to firearms. Boyle's law states that at a fixed temperature, the volume of gas is inversely proportional to the pressure exerted by the gas. This means that when a gas is in an enclosed space, it will shrink to fit into that space, but the pressure that the gas puts on the container will increase. The second law, Charles's law, states that the volume occupied by a fixed amount of gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature. In other words, as the temperature increases, so will the gas's volume. However, there is an important distinction between real gas and ideal gas in these theories. In an ideal gas, there are no interactive forces, i.e. attraction or repulsion, between the particles of the gas. Additionally, it is assumed that the volume taken up by the molecules themselves are entirely negligible to the volume of the container. In a real gas, however, the particles of the gas do have finite volumes and do attract one another. As such, this concept of real versus ideal gases must be considered. Nevertheless, these two principles outline how firearms function. The ignition of the primer and propellant create heat and gas. The heat increases the gas's volume, increasing the pressure on the cartridge. As the bullet blocks the path of least resistance, it is pushed out of the way inside the barrel with force, giving it kinetic energy. When all of this is combined,